Hi Cancer, I'm Lucy Ravenstone and welcome to my channel. I'm doing a reading for Mercury in retrograde in May 2022. I'm just going to do a few insights into the energies that we're working with. So just a 3-card pull to see what's in store for you Cancer. What is Mercury in retrograde? So Mercury is the planet of communication. Now a retrograding planet, it basically appears from the Earth to be moving away from us before turning retrograde. And basically it is an optical illusion, but during that time the energy can be quite disruptive. So Mercury being disruptive can mean miscommunications, conflicts, delays, anything that involves communication, like technology, and kind of anything to do with when we want something done, it will be delayed as a form of communication. For example, when you're signing contracts for housing and things like that, there can be delays during this time, so be aware of that. But it can be a very good energy to work with as well. It brings things to the surface, so anything where there's disruptions, perhaps it can mean slow down, or it really can show you what kind of needs to be worked with, something you've been suppressing, or secrets can be arisen. Interestingly, your cards have literally just jumped out without me needing to shuffle. That was very kind of cool. Let's see what's in store for you then, Cancer. Okay, I totally feel like you may have a disruption in your peace right now. We have peace in reversed. So it definitely feels like it's going to disrupt your natural flow of wanting peace is what I want to say. And I feel like you... okay, I want to say I feel like you are vulnerable, but at the same time you don't feel vulnerable. I feel like there's vulnerable areas of your life. I feel like there's some innocence here, and this is why I feel like you're trying to connect with is a form of innocence. I do feel like you are surrounding yourself in like a bubble, and I feel like this is your comfort zone. This is kind of the serenity you're trying to put yourself in for whatever reason. I feel like what's going on in your life now is requiring you to desire that for yourself and try and create that for yourself. So I do think that perhaps there could be interruptions here with this, and I feel like what does try and interrupt this, I want you to pay attention to that. Mercury really brings things to the surface and being like what is not in alignment with you. So if they are disrupting something you're trying to create for yourself, perhaps they're part of the problem that needs to be addressed. It could be that you've been pushing it aside and it's like, hang on, you need to communicate with this person rather than you pushing them away. Or it can be that that person, you are still allowing them to hold too much power in your life, and it's telling you to, you know, work with that. So obviously, take in consideration what that means to you. I do feel like there are weeds, which means there are toxic people that may try and disrupt you during this time, because I feel like they are just getting at your legs. So I just feel like they are niggling. It's kind of like scratching your legs. Perhaps they don't like that you are trying to move away from them. So bear that in mind. That could be happening for you during this time. So Mercury is retrograding from the 10th of May to the 2nd of June. So this is when that energy will really be at its most heightened. We're in the shadow at the moment currently, and you will be in the shadow at the other end, but the most potent of the energy is during these times. We have the assessing. Actually, I feel like this came up for you in your reading, so please check out the full May reading for a little bit more insight to the energies you're working with for this month. This is assessing. This I'll show you, and I do feel like you are observing. I do feel like you are in that energy where you are doing that. You are kind of in this awareness where you are kind of observing what's right for you and what's not right for you, and I'm getting that kind of energy here. I feel like during this time be extra observant to what really comes forward, because I definitely feel like that will help you to realize where you're going right, and also where might be going wrong, but I feel like where you're going right is the key here. Because I feel like you're really in tune with yourself. I definitely get the sense of you being in alignment with who you are, what you want, and where you're going. So it's all about assessing and observing that for yourself. Boundaries is the final card. I do get this sense of you sometimes can overprotect yourself and not show your vulnerability. You kind of keep that hidden from those that perhaps need to see that vulnerability. I do get the sense that you will get cracks in that bubble if that is the case. If you are protecting yourself from the wrong people, those that you're supposed to be more vulnerable for, they may not be happy with this, and I feel like this is where the cracks in your perfect world you're creating will come forward. Because you're not fully in alignment with each other, perhaps you're not communicating properly. Because I just get the sense of this being something you're growing, and it's a good positive feeling, but I feel like there's cracks in your boundaries in your area. Perhaps these boundaries need to be either, I don't want to say reasserted, because I feel like assessing kind of comes, I feel like they need to be reassessed. Perhaps you're protecting yourself from the wrong people, and I feel like this is actually a bit of a message here for you, Cancer, is that I feel like you allow the wrong people past those boundaries, so you now have really strong boundaries, kind of like you're in a protective glass bubble that, you know, somebody has shattered before because I don't feel like shattered, I feel like you let them in before, and so now you have got them back up, and someone else is trying to shatter and break those down, but you are resistant to that. This will really become a problem for you. I feel like this is the niggles the most for you during this time, and be a problem for you, because I feel like it's very disruptive to this other person. Whatever they're dealing with and trying to get close to you, I feel like you are not allowing them to see the true vulnerable you, which is then causing issues in their side of things. Because it's at the end of the day, when we're not vulnerable and open for someone, that can really cause restrictions within our relationships. And I feel like this could really be an issue for you. That's really actually the main issue that comes forward. I feel like you've allowed the wrong people in and keeping the right people out. So keep that in mind for you, Cancer. Because I feel like this person truly wants to grow and nurture and nourish something with you. But yeah, do your assessing. I feel like you are on point with your intuition, so I feel like you know exactly what I'm talking about. Which Cancer, I mean, that makes sense. I feel like you're always on top of yourself anyway, on top of what's going on. And you just need a quick reminder of where to do the work. Nice and easy for you, Cancer. Thank you so much for being here. Again, check out your May reading for a little bit more insight into the energies you're working with this month. But thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next month.